Hey everyone, welcome to another interesting episode of Jasiri. Now, I am your co host, and what that means is I am not the only one in the studio. I have some beautiful African ladies in the studio. But first, you need to understand that I am Oluchi Enobong, a serial entrepreneur who enjoys the good things of life.
Welcome again to Jasiri. My name is Omotunde Adeboale David. Awesome time. Of course, you know me. I'm a one-woman soldier. I do everything you can imagine. I love, I live, and I laugh. So thank you for joining us again today.
Hi everyone, my name is Sheila Oj. I am a communications professional, but most of all, I am an enjoyment connoisseur. I love all things enjoyment.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ella Mitchell. I'm a fashion enthusiast. I'm a beauty guru, and I love looking good, and I love the finest things money can buy.
Nice.
And that's a period.
All right, thank you, beautiful ladies, for being on the show today, as always. Now, today's episode, we'll be talking about 101 etiquette every woman should know. But before we even go into that, I need everybody to tell us what your worst case scenario etiquette situation has been. I mean, it could be you, it could be somebody that you witnessed where it all went wrong along the line.
You know, I think the first time I would ever goof was when I had like a complete table setting and I had no idea what all these forks were for or all these knives were for. So I had to wait and watch
everyone else.
Everyone else with keen eyes. And I still use the fish fork to take dessert. It was just funny that day. I just couldn't understand all the placements. Okay, you start from the right and you work your way in, or you start from in, work your way out. Very confusing, trust me.
Sheila?
I don't think Sheila can go.
No, Sheila can go.
No, Sheila cannot go. She was born prepared.
Yes,
Proper.
born a lady.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good. I thank you so much for such compliments. I really
Don't
appreciate
disappoint
that.
me, Sheila.
I would say for me, but I think it was my much younger years though. Like it was walking. So I was a tomboy, like a huge tomboy. I don't know, most people don't believe that now, but so I would walk like a guy, and I used to wear like baggy pants and like baggy shirts.
And you
everything.
sat
Wow.
I didn't used to sag because then my mother would be really scared because she was already scared that I used to wear like oversized clothes. So I didn't want to scare her some more. So I was always like, and then every time I would hang out with my female friends, I would always feel out of place.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that was it. It got so bad that my mom had to register me in like etiquette classes. So
Wow.
so maybe she's to be thanked for this.
Awesomeness.
That is
you.
Yeah.
When phones came out and when you're greeting some people literally kneel down or tilt a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
courtesy.
or good afternoon, and they're like,
They
nobody
can't see
is
you.
nobody can see you. But for me, one time I know I was pretty confused. Was a tea party, this prima proper people, Ajeba kind of people, and someone like me that's a tomboy and I'm a Jekwaku like that. And then the teacup, they brought the teacup and then they put the spoon, you use it to stir, and when you're drinking, you now put your finger. This is how they do your finger. And I was like, really, like, what? Why is this? Why do you have to raise the tiny winky up this way and do this and I was just thinking, first of all, my finger couldn't even go through the handle. My finger was
Because it's not supposed to.
You're supposed to hold the tip. Just the tip.
Really?
Because I don't want to believe I just did this.
I didn't know that you're even supposed to stir your tea in a certain way. Back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, really?
Some would say, oh my God.
I was doing one and they kept making the noise and everybody
Clang, 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 clang,
yeah,
clang.
and then they did,
And then
I was just looking at people.
and then keep the spoon.
Wow, you guys are prim.
So I think
proper.
the common mistakes that people do is they leave sometimes, even like they'll leave the spoon in the
cup.
and then
No,
they
you have
take
to
it.
take it out.
Eh?
I mean, this is when you're outside. Of course, when you're inside, you can dip
Anyhow,
your bread
anyhow.
inside,
Yeah.
normal level.
But then outside.
But when you're outside, you have to be. Most people, like in my case, I've had friends who say, "Oh no, I don't form." I don't think it's forming. I think it's being a lady.
Yeah,
As
it's
a
being
lady, there are
proper.
things that are expected of you. Now, some people feel like you should be being scattered is being real. No, that's not being real, honey. You
So
are
Ella,
scattered.
honey, are you saying I can't crack my bone in public?
No, darling, you cannot.
No, darling,
And then
you
when you
can't
want to,
do
you have
that.
to like cover and
Like,
do that when you
pick
want
your
to eat.
teeth.
My calcium.
So your my
calcium.
calcium.
Sometimes
body.
it hurts me too. You know, drumstick. You know the foot of the
That's what we're
drumstick,
talking about.
juicy part.
Yeah.
That's calcium, baby girl.
Sometimes when I'm in some certain places and I cannot, the way I look at
Dig
it,
it.
pains in my heart. Pains.
Yeah.
That's why when
But
when
actually,
I order fish. That way it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Very
But
easy.
as far as I'm concerned, I think we should have our own African etiquette
Right.
and foreign etiquette because,
because we
we
copy
eat
the
eba
Western
with our
world.
own hands. We don't eat it with cutlery. So
Some people
we
use
should-
cutlery.
Some
I
use
know we
cutlery, which is
could,
quite
but that's not
interesting.
the African way.
Yeah.
The African
Okay.
way is you wash your hands and you dig it in. You know,
It's not
dig
even
it.
sweet with fork.
But
You don't
ladies,
feel it.
all this talk about etiquette, we haven't even like gone like
Into-
halfway
I
through
know.
into
I
this
mean, this
episode
topic
today.
is
Like,
so
interestingly
broad, yeah.
for us, we have a guest who's going to be talking so much more about etiquette. But I know that Lucia is preparing for us for some eye candy.
Yes, and I need to step aside to learn how this etiquette works. I mean, I just
So just practice for the tea.
Yeah.
Aha, yeah.
Remember, the finger doesn't go in.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
tip.
Tip.
So just
This tip.
The tip.
We'll be right back.
News Central TV, Africa's #1 storyteller, has come with the best of both worlds. With a combination of news app and live TV, we ensure that you keep track of the latest headlines, breaking news, and in-depth analysis from professional journalists from around the continent. Download the News Central TV app on Android and iOS and get started today. Don't forget to follow us on News Central's social media platforms. News Central, Africa First.
Welcome back. Still on the conversation on etiquette, we are going to be talking a little bit more about it. And we have a guest with us today. But before I say her name, she is the etiquette lady on social media, and she talks about all things etiquette, elegance, modern, and femininity. I like the femininity part. So let's welcome Ayanime Edem. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So, etiquette. I think before we go into etiquette, just tell us a little bit about yourself and then how you ended up,
Well,
etiquette.
if you told me I'll be doing this, I probably would have said no. I wasn't going to be doing this. But during the lockdown, I started taking courses, online because everybody were all inside the house. There was nowhere to go to. So I started taking courses and stumbled on image consultancy, fashion and style, and then international etiquette and protocol. So I took that course and I found out that it changed my life. I liked the way it made me feel very confident in certain situations. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to share this knowledge with other people, and here we are today.
Nice. I like the fact that COVID did a lot of positive things to different people. Everybody had some major take away from that experience, and this is very, very interesting.
It's so
Very
interesting. So I guess, so you said during the lockdown, did you always have it in you? Was it something you, or like I would say from childhood, were you a tomboy or were you
Such a lady.
Oh, you're such a lady
Okay, I think 2016, 2015, the very first memory of seeing a very graceful, elegant, and feminine woman was maybe 2013, 2014, I can't remember. But it was during a reality show, The Next Movie Star. I think that was a reality show. And they brought in this older woman to come teach us how to enter a room, how to sit, how to walk. And she was so graceful. She must have been in her 60s. She was so graceful, so beautiful. And I thought to myself, I want to be like her. Wow. Yeah. So that was the very first. But after that, life happened. And I was an athlete. So trust
Oh.
me,
Wow.
there was nothing about me that I wanted. I mean, I knew how to behave in certain
Right,
situations,
right.
but I wasn't keen on makeup. I wasn't keen on hair because there's no time for that during training,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So now, so most times when we talk about femininity and being feminine, it's often mistaken for weakness because women weak, and when you're soft spoken, when you are a certain way, they just take you to be weak. How does that work, or how are you able to still be feminine in a male dominated industry or in a male dominated society and still be able to call the shots? I guess it's just saying, what are the ways that we can still show your femininity while still being, the boss?
I think first it will be how you carry yourself and how you relate to other people.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, a woman who comes in and says, "Listen, we have to get this," you're gonna get things done. But you're probably not going to have a relationship with the people working with you. But a woman who comes in and says, "I know this is a tough project, but I know we can do it. Okay, so if you have any problems, you can come to me, we can talk about it." You may probably, no, you are going to form relationships with people. Now, another way to show your feminine side is there's something called social seduction.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Ella, you
I like
listening?
the word
Need to
seduction.
adjust
I
for
wanna
this
learn
one.
that
Okay.
People feel seduction is just about a man and a woman and being intimate. But there's an aspect of femininity that uses social seduction to get your colleagues to do what you want them to do for you. Rather than coming from the stage of, do this thing for me now. Why haven't you done this thing? You go close. Hi, that thing I asked you to do, could you please do it for me?
Right.
I'm still waiting. And you know what? That person, I'm so sorry. And they're going to get it done. So there's something called social seduction. And I believe that a feminine woman should make that her power in the workplace.
Wow, that's
That's
deep.
powerful.
I feel like I was just uncovering. Like we might need a whole episode on
I'm
social
telling you.
seduction at this rate. Ella, why do you look so shocked?
I'm trying to imagine you.
That means she's gonna be hypnotizing the entire world
Exactly,
because she
Guys,
does
really.
that
you see the way
effortlessly.
she said
So
that. What was it on the previous
No,
episode?
no, we're not.
And then I was blown away. Imagine she now has this.
social seduction.
Okay, so
It's gonna be
going
catastrophic.
going back to the topic of etiquette.
Okay.
How big is etiquette here in Nigeria or in Africa, in the continent Africa?
Not very big.
Why do you think so?
Because not very big, because I would believe from my interaction, I hope I'm not going to get into trouble for saying this. But we have, even though we don't want to accept that, you have different classes of people. You have the elite,
Right.
you have all of that. If you relate with the elite, you see the way they carry themselves. Some of them, of course, not everybody. You see the way they carry themselves. You see that they observe proper etiquette. Now, when you come down to the grassroots, they make fun of it.
Yes.
On social media,
See,
they
that's
make
funny.
they make fun of me. I had to learn to detach myself. Okay, they make fun of it because in their head it's like, why am I bothering with this? Life is too stressful already.
Yeah.
I've seen comments like that.
But could it be because we see etiquette as a thing from our colonial days,
Probably,
but not necessarily it's etiquette an African thing, or is there such a thing as African etiquette?
Etiquette.
I think in certain areas there are certain things that they are African etiquette in certain areas because of our culture, the way the Yorubas greet, that is etiquette.
Yeah.
That is,
Right.
So
True.
we do have our own kind of etiquette, but I do think that the young people, they make fun of it.
Of course.
They see it as being plastic.
Yeah.
This is what I tell them. I said, etiquette is just a big word for manners. Don't
Manners.
allow it become too big. It's just a big word for manners. So if you do want to have manners, then you are essentially embracing etiquette, and that's it.
back to femininity, there seems to be this whole rave about it right now. I've been seeing so many conversations about women, especially African women, being in touch with our feminine sides. Because we African women, I don't say we are not born feminine. We are
We're
rugged.
not soft.
Our ancestors were going to farm.
Yeah.
They were not drinking tea in palace. And so there's this whole rave right now about, as an African woman, connecting with your femininity, but most especially tapping into your femininity to be able to attract high value men.
Oh, wow.
What is your thought on that?
Okay. What is my thoughts on people?
On femininity and dating, I guess femininity and dating, and then supposedly how it helps attract the right kind of men.
Well, oh wow, that is
It's a very loaded question, I know.
okay. Femininity and dating. Wow. Okay. Tapping into a feminine side of you, I have always said you need to do it for yourself first.
Okay.
Okay. And then, does it help in dating? It does. That is the reality. It does help. Now, for every lady, we all have our type of man. We know who the kind of person we want to attract into our lives. And for a woman who wants to attract a masculine, high-value man, you cannot operate primarily in your masculinity because you're both going to keep clashing. He's going to want to lead. You are going to want to lead. And what do you think is going to happen?
Interesting.
A lot of times when I talk about femininity, like you said, people think it's weakness. But it is so much strength. It takes a lot of courage and strength to trust another person to lead in a relationship. Because we're all so scared of getting hurt that we'd rather do it ourselves. We'd rather take charge so that if something goes wring, you'd be like, okay, after all, yeah, I was in charge, right? But high value men, I'm beginning to think a lot of people mistake high income earning with high value.
Yes.
They're not the same thing. Somebody could earn in millions, but
It'll still be
it's
crass.
still very low value, very low value. So will tapping into your feminine side help you attract high value men? Probably. But like they say, location. You need to be in the right place to attract high
And
earning
like
and high value.
A whole new episode. We would have to tell the producer she needs to come back for that episode. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's a smile for me, though.
Yeah.
You have a very lovely smile. Is there a particular way we're supposed to smile? Is that part of
That is one part of me I will never, ever, 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 ever tamper with. The way I smile and the way I laugh. Because I laugh at everything. When it's something is funny, I am going to laugh, probably fall off the ground. But I would never, ever tamper with that. No matter how elegant and feminine I become.
So if you laugh like a horse, like, it's still all right. So far, you're doing it.
Yeah, of course, but you don't have to laugh.
No, that's how I laugh naturally. Like,
That's not how you laugh.
no, but some people have funny
That's
laughs.
not how you laugh.
I know somebody that laughs like it sounds like hiccups, and it's really pretty and
they snort when they laugh?
exactly. So, and it's still very elegant.
And then
I don't think my laughter is elegant, especially when I'm in certain, environments. You're supposed to have more composure.
no, that's definitely not me. I laugh with my whole face, my gums, and everything all
Definitely.
together.
Because
So
I tend to fall on the floor when I'm laughing. So
You lose all manners.
But when you look at the fact that we have so many comedians on Instagram today with so many amazing content, making you just laugh from the start of your day to the end of, please, if you want to laugh off the chair, please go ahead.
Go
because
ahead.
UAR is really, really hard. So
so UAR is really, really hard.
you need to have make us laugh. So please go ahead and laugh.
So
Yeah.
please check her page. And obviously, if you have anything to comment on etiquette and femininity, please feel free to talk about it, and share. So, Ayanime, before you go, could you just give us like one practical etiquette tip?
Okay, so for sitting, sometimes you see ladies do that. Or you just see them go like that. It is, I'm beginning to think it's an eyesore, maybe an eye problem.
Sometimes
but
when
it
you have
doesn't-
problem in life.
Maybe she just came from the landlord's house.
Yeah, you have problem. There's some problem you have.
That your legs have to scatter
Do you
for.
know I'm all for keeping your wig secure, but there was a day, even me, I took that wig off because the heat, what I was hearing, I needed the wig outside and hear it properly. Hear it from my head.
Oh my.
But yeah, so what is the right way to
okay,
sit?
so and then instead, one of the best ways to maintain a good posture while sitting is not to lean, because that is just going to mess up your posture. So you sit out, you know, and then you put your legs together. You can put your legs together. You can take it to the side, which is called Duchess slant.
This is the Duchess slant.
Okay, all right.
And then this is the
But
Cambridge.
Why is my waist paining me trying to do this?
And then so the other one's the Cambridge.
Correct,
So
yes.
you put the right or the
One
left?
leg in front,
Which
depending
one?
on how you're seated, because if you're seated this way, it's going to be a different leg.
Okay.
So
All
you
right.
do that.
Wow.
Right.
How do
Well,
the hands?
you can keep your hand this way. That is
Okay.
And see, when your body is away from this, it helps you sit up straight up. Rather than do that,
Slouching.
you collapse into
No
your
Right.
slouching.
Right.
Sit up.
Chin up,
Right.
shoulders up, everything up.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
What a life.
If you see me next week and my movement has changed, just know.
You've been
I
on
got
Ayanime's
etiquette
handle.
lessons.
Just know.
You've been on Ayanime's handle for a long time. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank
This was
you.
quite interesting.
This is very interesting. And on that note, we'll go on a break. And right after the break, we'll be giving Luchi some tips that we've learned today on sitting. And we'll also hear what she has for eye candy. Do stay with us.
As reporters, we don't just gather news stories, we experience them daily. So join us on Report Desk Africa as we share these experiences and review the top African stories every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. West African time, only on News Central.
And welcome back, ladies. Today has been all about etiquette, and also we've been talking a lot about femininity. We just had a guest, Ayanime Edem, who taught us a few things, and Luchi wasn't here because she was getting ready for eye candy, but we'll just give you a few tips. So we learned how to sit. So Ella here is sitting with Duchess.
Right.
I'm doing the Cambridge, and this is the Cambridge.
Right.
Yes. We also learned how to, stir our tea. So it's back and forth. You don't do it around.
Right. So
Yes.
And you should also use your inside voice.
Use your inside voice when speaking.
You
So
know,
there's
from
yeah,
now,
yeah, going
I have
forward
changed. I'm now going to be very subtle.
and
No,
soft.
I'll be very soft. I'm trying to use my, I'm trying, what does she call it?
Just
Social
inside
seduction.
social seduction. Yes,
Yes.
something called social seduction.
Seduction. So.
Yeah, so we'll tell you a little bit more about that. But
Later.
using your inside voice, could you just tell us what our eye candy is for this episode?
So eye candy is for today.
Why? Why?
I need to always bring out a little bit of this my side and just to spice it all up. But really, eye candy today, I found something quite inspiring, and it's a quote that says, the voice of a Black woman should always be herself. And this is from Malebo Sefodi. Malebo Sefodi, who made that quote. What do you guys think, ladies?
I think it just lays credence to our originality, the fact that we are who we are, without nothing added. We are enough in ourselves. So I think that's just summarizes it for me. Yes.
Ella, what do you think?
She took the words right out of my mouth. I think the quote just speaks to being yourself in a society where it is difficult. We were having the conversation before the show about finding one's true self. And I think we talked about how difficult it is right now to stay true to yourself in a world where social media has come to sell this false lifestyle to everybody. So on social media, everybody is rich, everybody lives a certain way. So it is difficult, and it is going to be more difficult for the younger generation to be able to stay true to themselves without being under any unnecessary pressure.
Yeah.
You say an 18-year-old girl wants to have a Birkin. At 18, why on earth would you think that a Birkin should be your priority? I'm not saying it's bad. Girl, I want a Birkin. But then, I mean, I think I'm at an age where I would appreciate it. I know the value of what it is. So I think the quote is just speaking to one's true self, not being under any pressure to change yourself, or just clear the noise. Just clear the noise. And then in that moment, you can really listen to your inner self. That way you can know who you truly are and your divine purpose.
I mean, I feel like as a Black African woman, we're under some sort of pressure, and a lot of times we don't live for ourselves. We live for everybody else but ourselves. And so this quote really is just like Ella said, it's really staying true to yourself, putting yourself first, because we tend to live for family, for kids, for husbands, and so in the process, so that's why you find that a lot of our mothers grow old and they lose their essence. If they're not married anymore, they lose their essence. If their kids are all grown and they've gone and left their home, they lose a bit of themselves. And that is because they've never actually put themselves first. We live a life of sacrifice, most Black women. We live a life of constantly sacrificing for everybody else but ourselves. And so this quote for me is really a reminder to, in addition to doing everything else, in addition to taking care of everybody else, think about yourself. Don't forget about yourself.
Identify your
Yes,
inner self.
exactly, and who you really are.
And the moment you do that, I think you understand, you have a true essence of what you came to this world to do.
Exactly.
It's not just about existing. You need to live.
Exactly.
You need to live.
And it's one of the easiest ways to know that is anytime you ask a woman, oh, sorry, who are you? They'll say, oh, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. It's very difficult for a lot of African women to define themselves outside being a wife, being a mother, being this. So it's that thing of who are you, regardless of all these additional things that's added to your life. Or who are you?
To the table.
Exactly.
I'm sure you had a really wonderful time. Thank you so much, every young African lady in the studio. And for you out there, thank you for staying tuned and watching. And as always on the show, we say, be bold, be strong,
and be a Jasiri woman.